My dear students, now we are going to discuss the another poem entitled A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. In our today's discussion, we will discuss about the poet John Keats. The next is the title of the poem A Thing of Beauty, the central idea of the poem, theme, summary, stanza-wise explanation. You will have figure of speech, and in the last but not the least, the important questions expected to come in the examination, though there is a possibility that the video may be longer, but have patience. You will get points, important points for the examination. So be calm and quite focused on whatever is being discussed here. The first one being about the poet. John Keats was a leading romantic poet. He believed that beauty is not seen by the eyes, but felt by the inner self. For him, beauty is emotional oxygen, the inner strength that helps a person survive despite suffering, loneliness, fear, and despair. You might have understood who John Keats was, although he has lived for a short period of time, and the period starts from 1795 and ends at 1821. 24 to 25 years. In such a short span of time, he has notched high accolades in the gallery of the contemporary poets. Now, let's have a look on the title, whether the title A Thing of Beauty is suitable or not. Generally, these questions usually comes in the examination. The title of the poem is undoubtedly suitable, apt, as it suggests that anything truly beautiful, whether in nature, art, memory, or noble deeds, brings lasting joy. Beauty, according to the poet, never loses its charm, its effect stays with us and keeps refreshing our mind and soul. The central idea, the poem clearly and loudly affirms that beauty is not an escape from life. Rather, it is the reason we continue living. Joy may not be permanent, but the memory of beauty is life does not give happiness, so beauty lends it. So, by the time we have understood about the poet, title, central idea, and let's have a look on the theme. The theme of this poem rests on the idea that beauty is not a momentary pleasure but a form of survival. According to the poet, beauty becomes the emotional architecture that holds a broken human spirit together when life feels heavy, ordinary, or cruel. Every beautiful thing, whether found in nature, memory, kindness, or imagination, becomes a quiet force that repairs the inner world of a person. It offers endurance and not an escape. Thus, we can say that the theme is not simply that beauty brings joy, but that beauty saves, and in saving becomes eternal. Now, let's come to the next point, that is the summary. And summary is I have prepared for you in a very nutshell so that you all the components, all the points may go to your mind and you may not feel difficulty while writing the answers of the questions. A thing of beauty reflects that it is not just something we see, but something rescues us from within. Keats says that when life becomes difficult, exhausting, beautiful things like nature, memories, love, and noble actions quietly restore strength to human beings. In other words, we can say that beauty does not remove problems, but it softens their weight, turning despair into endurance. In this way, we can say that beauty becomes a lasting source of peace that reminds us, even in a world of struggle, there is something worth staying for. So, this was the summary. Now, let's have a look on the explanation, what has been done stanza wise. I'm reading the line and then after I shall explain it. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us. and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Here the word Baur, that means certain. Let's have a look on the explanation of the poem. You see, now Keats actually begins by declaring that beauty has the power to outlive the moment in which it is seen. Even when the physical object fades, its emotional effect survives. Beauty becomes a private shelter inside the mind, a place of inner shade where exhaust dissolves. Instead of disappearing with time, real beauty grows deeper because it becomes part of memory. It gives the tired soul a kind of rest that does not come from sleep alone, but being understood by the world. Beauty here is not an object, it is a refuge. Now, the another one is, therefore, on every morrow we are reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth, in spite of despondence. Actually, in spite of, it means in spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. Let's discuss about it. The poet actually suggests that every morning, knowingly or not, we choose life again because beauty gives us a reason to. The flower band is not a real garland. It is a metaphor for hope, memory, love, and the desire to keep going. Even when the world feels cruel, when goodness seems scarce, or when life becomes polluted with negativity, beauty prevents the soul from collapsing. It does not claim life. It does not claim life is perfect. It claims life is breathable, bearable. Beauty keeps us human when circumstances try to make us less than anything. Now, the another one, the next stanza is, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Such the sun, the moon, tries old and young, sprouting is saddy bone for simple sip, and such are daffodils. With the green world they live in, and clear reels. Beauty is shown here as a remover of darkness. See, as a remover of darkness. The pall meaning a shadow or emotional suffocation. Nature becomes a healer without medicine. The sun and the moon are not more mere celestial objects, they are emotional timings. Sunrise for courage, moonlight for calm. Old and young trees suggest beauty across generations, providing that healing is timeless. Even ordinary sheep resting in shade suggest a world designed for comfort, where simplicity becomes a spiritual lesson. Beauty is not far away, it stands quietly in ordinary places. And clear reels that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season, the mind, the meat forest break, and rich with this sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. This stanza shows nature anticipates human sufferings and respond before we ask. Clear streams create shelter from heat, just as moment of beauty protect us from emotional pressure. Nature behaves like a caretaker. Forests build sacred corners of the peace, and flowers offer fragrance as if the world owes us comfort. Here, beauty is not passive; it participates in healings. It is an answer to question we do not even know how to ask. And such too is the grandeur of the domes we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read. Beauty also lives in stories, legends, and noble memories. Human beings survive not only through food and breath, but through hope passed forward by others. The great souls of the past are not dead in memory. They are alive as a strength for the living. Keats suggests that beauty is not just what we see, but what we inherit. Very important. Their courage becomes ours, their stories becomes emotional architectures inside us. And the last two line is very, very important, you see. An endless fountain of immortal drink pouring into unto us from the heaven's brink. Beauty is compared to a heavenly fountain, not one that quenches physical thirst, but the thirst of the heart. It flows endlessly, suggesting that the universe is not indifferent to human suffering. It offers relief. Beauty becomes divine nourishment, not to escape reality, but to return to it with renewed strength. In these lines, beauty is elevated from comfort to a spiritual necessity. By the time we have understood the explanation, you see, of stanza wise explanation of the poem, and that has done stanza wise, you see. Now let's have a look on the figure of speech. In the very first stanza, we have some of the figure of speech, like a thing of beauty is a joy forever. This is what is metaphor, because beauty is directly compared to a never ending source of joy, you see. There is no use or of like or edge, so it is a metaphor. The effect in the poem is shows the permanence of beauty and its lasting impact on human soul. Now, some hope of beauty. See here, or you may write as some hope of beauty. Another one, some hope of beauty moves away the pall. Here, see S and repetition, some shape. So S repetition in the close proximity, that is the alliteration. What this is? This is alliteration. The repetition of a sound in some shape creates musical quality and emphasis, enhances the flow of the poem, and draws attention to the soothing nature. Now we do have imagery. We do have imagery, you see, and dark spirit you might have come across in the poem. See here, dark spirits. This is personification, because it abstract emotions like despair and negativity are given human quality, and that is why this is personification. We have also enjambment. Therefore, on every morrow, you might have come across here. Every morrow, are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us the earth? This is enjambment. And enjambment is what? The sentence continues without a pause at the end of the line, and the effect of it is reflects the continuous and unbroken connection between humans and beauty. We do have symbolism about the celestial body, you see, such the sun, the moon. See, these are trees, old, young, sprouting a saddy bone, now, and daffodils, all there. Symbolism. These natural objects symbolizes hope, innocence, renewal, and life. We have also a repetition as a figure of a speech, that is of noble natures of the gloomy days. You have, and this is a repetition. The repetition of the word of stresses the contrast between nobility and gloom. This highlights how beauty rises above human suffering. We do have oxymoron. Pleasure are like poppies sprayed. This is what? Implicit contrast. Though not a direct oxymoron, the idea contrasts pleasure and transience, and it emphasizes the short-lived nature of worldly pleasure. And once again, we have joy forever. Joy forever is what? Joy forever is an assonance. Assonance, repetition of the vowel sound O creates a softness and musicality, adds a soothing tone, reinforcing the ideas of calmness. And apostrophe. This is implied the poet indirectly addresses humanity and life while speaking philosophically. This gives the poem a universal and a reflective tone. So this was all about the figure of a speech. Now let's have some question on the basis of the learning. See, the one question you should prepare, although I may answer this question. Beauty removes the pall of sadness from human life. Just justify this statement with reference to the poem. Actually, the answer is John Keats presents beauty as a powerful antidote to sorrow and despair. Human life, according to the poet, is burdened with this disappointment, unhealthy days, and dark phases that weaken the human spirit. In such moments, beauty acts like a silent healer. Natural objects such as the sun, the moon, trees, and blooming flowers offer a sense of comfort and continuity. Their presence reassures a human that goodness still exists despite suffering. Keats believes that beauty does not fade with time. Instead, it leaves a lasting impression on the mind. The enduring joy slowly lifts the pall or covering of sadness from human life, replacing gloom with hope, faith, and emotional strength. Thus, beauty becomes a sustaining force that enables mankind to endure life's hardships. The another question is, how does Keats redefine the idea of happiness? Keats, the answer. Keats moves away from the conventional idea of happiness as momentary pleasure and redefines it as something permanent and nourishing. For him, happiness is not derived from wealth, success, or material comfort, but from the quiet and constant presence of beauty. A thing of beauty, once experienced, becomes a source of inner joy that continues to comfort the soul even in difficult times. Unlike temporary excitement, this happiness grows stronger with memory and reflection. It provides emotional shelter and mental peace when life becomes harsh and disappointing. Through this perspective, Keats teaches that true happiness lies in those experiences and sights that uplift the soul and strengthen one's bond with life. And the next, although I have a series of questions, you see, but what I thought most important and I have selected for you. Explain how the poem offers a philosophy of life, not merely description of nature. Now, listen to the answer. Although a thing of beauty is rich in images of nature, its essence lies in its deeper philosophy of life. Keats acknowledges that human existence is filled with suffering, despair, and moral weakness. Instead of ignoring these realities, he proposes beauty as a means to confront and survive them. The poem suggests that life becomes meaningful when humans learn to seek and cherish beauty amidst darkness. Beauty, in Keats' philosophy, strengthens the human spirit, renews hope, and encourages perseverance. It teaches that life is worth living not because it is free from pain, but because moments of beauty make endurance possible. Thus, the poem serves as a guiding principle for living with optimism, resilience, and faith. Okay, thank you. Do write if it you think helps. Thanks. Rest in the next video.